Perfect. Hello. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming to my podcast, Open to the Universe, QHHT, and that would be Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. Oh, I am so excited to be here today and to talk, and hopefully, you receive something good from my sessions, my podcasts. So, thanks for coming to my page. I really appreciate it. Thanks for listening to me. So basically, today I wanted to talk about the new earth versus the old earth. Um, if you're feeling a shift, if you're feeling different, if you're feeling off, it's that transition time. We're really transitioning. And so I was feeling really off, and I'm realizing that I was mingling with still being in the third dimension or third where it's like that lower vibration, which is the old earth. And as you move forward in life, as we keep going through the future, because we're in the future right now, this is so the future, 2022. I mean, this is the future. This is it, And as we keep moving forward, with evolving and just moving forward in the world and in our lives. And when you start to choose better feeling vibrations, it kind of sticks with you and it kind of stays with you in the new earth, where you're not tussling back and forth, worry and fear and doubt, versus great things like love, compassion, um, excitement. So when we get those, and it's a good challenge, because we're all super different and we're still all the same in an aspect, as we are human, but we like different things and we can handle different foods and we like different environments. Some of us may like the same and we congregate into that area, and those are the people who like the same thing that you may like. Uh, and I traveled a while for the last couple of weeks for graduations, and it was just incredible to see the state of mind of what state of mind people are actually really in. Um, it's incredible. So yeah, so QHHT was developed by Dolores Cannon. She's absolutely amazing. She did it for almost 50 years. She's done over 10,000 people. Wrote 19 books. You can actually go to her website, dolorescannon.com, and check her stuff out. I would if I were you. She's, everyone's like, oh, she's gone. No, 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 no. Her energy is so present. She feels so alive when you tap in to her stuff. When you start to listen to her books and listen to her talks, you realize she's still super alive. Like, that energy feels like she's alive, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to go meet her. And then you're like, oh, she's physically not here. Okay, that's interesting. Just everything I've found on her, she just feels very alive. So it's really cool. I love how we are energy. I love how we can feel it when we tap into it. But if you don't know that, you don't know what you're feeling. That's why having this session with quantum healing hypnosis technique by a professional practitioner, and you can go to the official or QHHTofficial.com to find one in your area. It's really important to make sure you go with someone who is professional, because they've learned the technique correctly. They're not guessing. It's just really important because it's a very special gift that you receive doing this. This is the new way of therapy. because no one holds the answer for you. You hold the answer for you. So when you do this technique, you tap into the all knowing part of yourself. And we all have it. We're all blessed to have this beautiful, all knowing, godly part of ourselves. And we can do whatever we want with it. You can live a life of chaos and low vibration and have everything always hectic and everything's always stressful. And if that's you, pay attention to that, because you don't deserve that. You deserve great. You deserve calm. You deserve an enjoyable life. You deserve compassion and love and all the great things. Just because your neighbor you think may have figured it out doesn't mean you can't figure it out. You don't have to live a life that is any other way but great. You've made it here. You've made it this far in your life. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Really live your life. What is it you always wanted to do? What is it you always wanted to go and see? Like, do that. Enjoy your life. Appreciate that you wake up every morning and that you actually have that opportunity and chance, and really indulge in it, and really live your life. That's why they say live it to the fullest, because it's already so precious that you've even got a body and that you can go and do whatever you want. Sure, we don't always have the means, but when you tap into that perfect part of yourself and you align yourself with that vibration, the means come to you. You somehow manage to afford that trip. You somehow manage, you get to see that or meet that person, that you may have been longing to meet, or do that thing you really longing to do. And there's just no better time than to now, and really living in the present is what I realized. That is, living in the now. That is why it's called the present. Because it's such a gift to have the opportunity to enjoy enjoy what's around you. Pay attention to Mother Nature. The trees, the birds. I know it seems silly because we see them every day. Oh yeah, there's the birds. Oh yeah, there's a squirrel. But how special is it that you're actually in a body, that you have the opportunity to do that? A lot of people miss that opportunity. A lot of people leave the body and go to the start over, and that takes time. And I realize that, with each person that transitions to the other side, I've realized how precious and how exciting it is to be in a body and to choose what I want to choose. And it's the same with you guys. Like, really care about you. Start to care about yourself. Start to create habits, because we're creatures of habits. So, we like routine generally. We like to create a habit and just do it. And sometimes we go through cycles where we're over that particular thing. But for the most part, we like structure. We like when things are in order. And if we don't, that's okay too. That is your choice. There's so many of us that we all have our own ways. So create what would be perfect for you and fit you. Don't create what you think it should be. Like, oh, what did she say? Does it have to be this way? No, there's no right or wrong. Like, go ahead, do you, because what you do for yourself is that's exactly what it was meant to be. That exactly was, and it's a challenge. I've been out there. I went out there and I saw how many people who were asleep, who were just in that rat race, not really caring about themselves. They would just wake up and go to work and not really wake up and say, okay, how am I feeling today? All right, do I need a little extra TLC for my own self? I really love, it's like you look in the mirror. Can you look in the mirror? I love saying that because it's a reminder that it's so important that we can look our own self in the eye, because most of the time we really cannot. We look ourselves in the eye and we think about all the stuff we have to do. We think about all the worries, maybe what happened yesterday, who knows, maybe what's going to happen tomorrow. So we're never really calming ourselves and saying, okay, wait a minute. I'm a little frazzled this morning. I had a little bit too much going on. I'm going to tone it down by either doing meditation or yoga or anything. Hey, good morning. Um, just anything relaxing to the mind. Just start yourself out in a good, healthy, positive way. Do you have the right foods and drinks that you need for that day? Really care about yourself. Really put it out there like, hey, do I am I able to stop here and here and here to take, to get food and drink or whatever it is? Or do I just pack it all in meal prep? It's whatever works for you, I say. But but think about those things, because some people are stuck in the car for 5 hours a day, 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night, who knows, something like that. And then, you get home and you're exhausted. You've literally drained yourself, not putting anything positive in your body. So that's why I say it's like fill yourself up really well before you start your day. So whatever your day starts, if it's the evening, if it's night, that's okay. You still can adjust what you need in that day. It's like, hey, okay, I'm working nights. So in order to have a good night, and how am I going to feel? You should worry about how you feel. Like, I know people think that's selfish, and I think there's a little balance there. Sure, you don't want to hurt someone's feelings and be crazy about, saying, oh, me. But I think it's important that we refocus on that in a positive way. It's the energy that we create. I think I've even talked about it. The last podcast is like, before you go to a party, you may have animosity towards a family member or a friend that you're going to see at that party. And so that creates energy. It's the same thing. It's like when you do it selfishly, thinking about yourself, you create that selfish energy. So that's why I say it's like you really pay attention to that, relax your mind, meditate or yoga or an exercise. Some people love to run, some people love to bike, whatever it is, whatever gets you going and clears your mind. That's what you should do. You shouldn't, no matter however many people put this out and their ways, just remember it's always their ways. That's what they're putting out there. But remember to also, you take a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It's like a soup, but mostly it's your way, because it's your life. It's all you and your reality, So it's like you're dreaming the dream. So yeah, you can listen to all these people out there and you can try all these different things, but it's really what works for you. What's the best for you? Because essentially that's what it's coming down to. Um, I think that we need to have it come down to that, because it's just time. It's time for us to start caring about ourselves, because when we do that, you start caring about yourself, you're a happy, more joyful person. Not a lot of things are going to get to you. So if someone cuts you off on the highway or whatever the case may be, that you go, that's all right. That's fine. Little things are meant to happen. You also, I was just listening to Dolores. I love re-listening to her books. So I've read almost all of them. I think there's like one I haven't, or two, something like that. Because she has 19 books and they're big. And I'm a reader, but I'm also super busy just with everything else. But I was listening to her Convoluted Universe too, because there's this, series of them, six, five, and I was listening to, and she's talking about the people who went to her who survived 9/11. I thought, whoa, that's so, I love listening to Dolores because she really, like, she really got in good with some of these. So anyway, they came to her and they were telling her, like, that they didn't die in the 9/11 because they were either late, they either got hung up by traffic, they got, like, it was like 20 different scenarios. Like, she had like 20 different people, and one was her little boy went and get dressed, and it wasn't like it took him an hour, it took him an extra, I don't know, 8 minutes, just enough, just enough. That's what blew my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, I had chills, and there was just so much more. And it was like this other guy bought a pair of shoes literally the day before and was like so excited to wear them, but he walked to work and he got a blister halfway to work. Like, what the heck? Wow. Like, really listening to your gut, that is like your angels, like, they hooked them up. It was like, hey, you guys, it's not your time. Like, there's these little scenarios that delayed you in every different possible way. I thought that was really amazing. One was having to bring donuts to the meeting. Like, he had a meeting that morning, but he was like, "Oh, I gotta get me some donuts for the meeting." I was just like, it just had me. I don't know. I get to like wrapped up and excited and like, wow, that's so incredible. It's really so neat how the other side works with us in a way that doesn't scare you, not at all. It's like, oh, all right, I gotta go get donuts. Or, oh, come on, son, put your clothes on. I need to get to work. So they're not like crazy scenarios. They're like super precious and like simple. And it's really neat that a lot of people went and transitioned to the other side with that particular um, scenario. But I also listened to Bashar, and he actually said there's another parallel life to this, and the towers are still standing like it never happened. He said, yeah, I see that. And I was like, whoa. And he actually has a video I should put on my YouTube. I actually will put that on my YouTube now that I'm like thinking about it, because I think that's incredible. It's like, what? There's a parallel life that the towers are still standing. That's incredible. Which then brings you kind of like this joy, because then all those people like survived. Even though, yeah, we jump around bodies. I just had a session done on myself, and my higher self's just so, there's just not that emotion part. So it's like my soul just, you can see the souls just jump from body to body to body to body. So no emotion. It's really incredible that we have emotion on this planet with great reason. It gives us learning lessons constantly. We're always learning. We're always challenging ourselves and trying to do better. And that's what's amazing about the human, is that we're always trying to do better. Parallel lives. I had to write me a note about that. And um, I just think it's incredible. I love listening to Dolores, though, because even though, yeah, I've already listened to it, I think every time you keep moving into the future and you're always trying to better yourself, you're shifting at the same time. So sometimes you may hear that story differently, or you may, um, I'm noticing that, or you may catch something you didn't catch before. That's what I like. And I love listening to Bashar for that reason too, is like, I can listen to him like all the time, but it'll be like the next day I'll hear something that I didn't hear or in a new way. And he says it's because you're shifting into a new person. So sometimes you'll hear something that you needed to hear exactly how you needed to hear it. It's really cool. And I just got his new, oh gosh, I have to share this with you guys. I just got his new video. So he does teachings, um, and you can do it. It's like $35 or something like that. And it's 2 hours. You can actually go on and talk to him face to face, or you can ask a question and his assistant will read that question out. And And he'll answer it, of course. So I think it's neat. And it's called The Destruction of the Physical Mind. Oh, it's going to be so good. Like, I'm so excited to completely listen to it all. I've like heard, bits and pieces. My mind, of course, it's like over my head a little bit because I swear as you move forward, um, well, where I'm at in my life is that I can understand it, but it's pretty advanced. Like, I feel like you have to work your way up to that thought pattern and really meditate and really understand where Bashar's coming from, because I don't think just a regular person can just go and listen to it and really understand exactly what he's trying to put down, because I have to listen to it over and over. And this one in particular, a lot of them I have no problem with, but this one, The Destruction of the Physical Mind, I was like, oh, all right, that's a lot. It's a lot. Um, so it has me thinking, and it's like overanalyze type deal. So anyway, I want to go back to asking you guys um, how your year's going, how you're feeling. What was your half of your year like? What was the first 6 months like for you? Are you feeling a shift? Are you creating good things in your life? What has it been like? Are you transitioning to um, a new place in life? Because sometimes you have to move from where you are, because where you are, it just doesn't fit you anymore. Not necessarily is it a bad place or a good place or whatever the case is. It's like, does this place fit you? Can you be the best you can be in this place? Because it matters where we live. It does. It just matters. And for me, I need to be in nature. I need wilderness. I need trees, mountains. I love it. And that lets me know that I am in the new earth because of my mindset. I, you get off the little vortex. That's what Abraham says. And it's like, that's okay if you get off. If you're on and you're doing good and you're doing great, and then all of a sudden you get off and you're like, oh gosh, I'm off. I am just off. You can get easily back on once you get to that point in your life. If you can't, that's why a beautiful session with quantum healing hypnosis technique. I mean, it doesn't even matter if you can come to me. If you could go to any practitioner in your lifetime, it'll be the best thing you've ever chose to do. It's a beautiful gift. It's super gentle. Um, it's not abrasive. It's not, and also feel your practitioner out. If there's more than one practitioner, feel them out, connect to them. That's why there's several out there to choose from. You want to vibe, you want to get to that practitioner and have that like same connection of safety, because basically you're telling them your whole life. So that's precious, that's private, and your life is super precious. And so you don't want someone who won't give you that same energy that you're looking for. You really want to fill them out, hear their voice, maybe watch a video of them or whatever they have out as advertising, because that's really important to connect to your practitioner, I think, because you both, it's like your practitioner is like this tool, but goes with you through your past life, through maybe not a past life, maybe it's this life you have to see, and then to the higher self, and your practitioners with you through that whole process. Sure, you don't have to go 1,000 times, you can just go once, but and you may never see that practitioner again, but it doesn't matter. That moment in time is super precious, and you get it recorded or videotaped, whatever you choose. Um, but you have that video or you have that recording for your whole lifetime. So it's just really precious. Not just precious, but like, it's just really important to care about that part too is picking the practitioner. If you have a choice, of course, sometimes we live in a spot where there's just either no practitioner, which they're coming, the practitioners are coming, or there's just one to choose from. And if there is just one to choose from, that's okay. Like, still fill them out, and most likely they'll be pretty great. Of course, we have our own personalities and our own ways, but usually most of the practitioners are amazing, are caring and loving, and they're easygoing and easy to talk to, and all the good stuff. So that's what I was going to say about that. Also, I wanted to talk about um, when you feel like you're in the old earth or when you feel like you're in the new earth. I want to lean towards that because it's really important. It kind of goes off of what I was just talking about with my last podcast. What energy you're creating. It's the same. It's the state of mind you're in. It's the energy you hold. That's really important. That also, as a light worker, I have to maintain myself by doing yoga and meditation and clearing and a little reiki, like holding my hand over my chakras and just clearing any kind of energy and asking why it's there and to let it out through my feet into the world, any excess energy. I love the meditation we have in our Dolores script. It's beautiful because it releases that energy out of the body, into the world for anyone else to use who needs access, who may need a little energy. Um, I think that that's really important to pay attention to. But anyway, what I was going to say, I lost my train of thought. um, just protecting yourself before you go out into the world. Sometimes we're so asleep that we don't realize that either we're a light worker or we're just a sensitive being. And we may absorb other people who may be negative, who may be um, not as awake as the next person. What was I going to say? I keep losing my train of thought. I'm having a moment. Uh, so when you live in the new earth, basically it's the good environment around you, good people are around you, people who are always boosting you up, or just generally happy people who say hi, who greet you, who don't give you that cold shoulder. I've lived in the city where it didn't even matter because no one really knew anyone. So there was really no connection of if you went to the grocery store, hi, how are you? Or if you went to uh, anywhere, you know. But if I'm having a moment, if you're living in the old earth and you have this energy of, mm, you don't really love yourself, so how could you actually really like be nice to your neighbor? And it's not necessarily your neighbor, but just anyone, you really can't go friendly and be friendly because you hold this energy of you don't really love yourself or trust yourself. That's the old earth. And honestly, that's the ego. You've listened too much to the body, the ego, that side that is just really meant to make sure you eat, make sure you have a roof over your head, but really, and stay alive. But really, that's it for the ego. But if we pay attention to it, thinking it's our regular side, that negative, we paid attention to the negative. We paid attention to the doubts, the fears, oh, that's still getting held in our body. What's amazing is that we can do a few things and release that and always then eventually start to choose good, good, good. What makes you happier? See, that's the old earth versus the new earth. So really, you can't really tell. The planet's the planet, you can't really tell if it's like a new planet or an old planet unless you go to a particular beautiful spot and you really live a beautiful life. Then you can realize you're in the new earth. It's when you choose all those negative things and you just really can care less about anything else, and you're just like, I don't really care, I don't really trust, I don't really love, I'm not compassionate. And that just, you won't even probably find people who are encouraging you or building you up, because your vibration is then, energy is then held down very low. So then you'll run into chaos, you'll run into more people who bring chaos, you'll run into more people who are chaotic, and then you're chaotic because you're not in that vibration. So really it's a frequency that we need to be aware of. You're aware of it when you start to come out of it, and you'll naturally come out of it if you just let go. And that's the whole, like, you hear it in the biblical terms of like, let God, just let it go and give it to God and he'll, and that's the same thing. It's like, as you let go, as you say, no, I'm going to look myself in the eyes in the mirror, and I trust you. I trust you in the mirror. And then you trust yourself. You start to trust yourself. Where did it go wrong for you? Because you were born into this world, beautiful, a sweet little baby, you know, natural state. Your natural state is happy, healthy, or not healthy, happy, um, and just joyful, and it's like, look back and see where it went wrong. Did you have a mom or dad who was crazy, who just brought the worst out of you, who just brought everything negative out of you? And then what? You got absorbed into it because you then were just a little kid. You had no choice. And then you had to go to school. So guess what? You attracted those kids that were maybe more of a mess off, or maybe more, like, especially for me, is what I notice is like, I was pretty low vibe. My mom was pretty out there. So when I would go to school, because it was a bigger school, we had variety of kids. And I was friends with the kids who were abused and who maybe only had grandma, or maybe only had a guardian who was no family, who was no blood, I should say. So I've been friends with almost every kind of scenario of a person can have. Or just had two parents, but they were horrible and they would like be abusive, and it was just terrible. But I didn't realize it in the moment that I was that low vibration until I started to grow up and started to see good. But guess what I did with that? I just hammered on it. I was like, oh, they think they're better than me. They think they're great. They're not. So here I am, then reflecting what my family brought me up to be, is to ridicule and go off on those other people when that's not the case. They're doing the best they can do because they want to do the best they can do, because it's coming to them naturally. And it works out so great because maybe the people they're around are awesome. Maybe they have the best mom, or maybe they have great guardians or grandparent or aunt or whoever it is that really boosts them up, and school comes to them naturally, and everything comes to them naturally, and they feel good because they've held themselves at a vibration that is like the new earth, where everything starts to just be good, good, good. You're going to see that it is the planet of opposites too, that you're going to see good and you're going to see evil. But as we move into the future, as the light workers wake you up, and you start waking up to the concept that life doesn't have to be horrible or bad, and if someone leaves and transitions to the other side, you're not weeping and sad. You're like, good, all right, you go first. I'll see you later. Because essentially none of us are just going to stay on here on the planet without leaving. We all have an exit plan, period. All of us, every single one of us. Um, and that's just as we came in. We all had a plan coming in. We all had a plan of why we choose our parents, why we choose who we're going to be in a particular family group with, because there's going to be lessons there that we needed to learn. But we don't have to take a whole lifetime to learn all of this. That's what's so beautiful about this technique. It will wake you up, and it will show you what maybe a pattern that you've been living. Uh, over and over and not living in the same life. I'm talking about a pattern that keeps happening every life you have. And it's your soul. It's not you. It's your soul. It has lessons to learn, and if it can't do it in the human body it's in, it leaves that body and goes to a whole nother body, and it has to start over. So it takes so long. It's such a process. That's why it's really important to um, first take care of yourself first. Like, I think I was even just saying, it's like exercise, diet, it's a whole blend of things that we need. We don't need too much exercise, we don't need too much diet, because it's like, you don't need to do that to yourself. Don't torture yourself, and don't be so hard on yourself, because you don't deserve it. You deserve ease and simple. And I mean, sure, you can make things complicated, but it doesn't need to be. Life is simple. We overcomplicate things as human mind. Some people love complications because they like to figure things out, and that's okay. Then do it, you know. But not everyone, and that's what you guys need to know, is it's not everyone who needs that complication. We actually really need sometimes simple, because life gets thrown at you, and when it does get thrown at you, and you live in the city and there's the hustle and bustle and there's other people, you've got to calmly maneuver through life in that body with those scenarios. So, being in that environment, the only thing I best could tell you is to, when you wake up, don't wake up at the last minute. Give yourself a second to wake up. Like, care about that. Care about your nervous system, because when you wake up with the alarm, you're kicking into high gear, fight or flight. It jolts you, because we're such a calm being, really. If you took all of it away, we'd be very calm people. But we have lots of stimulation, lots of things going on, um, sirens, and just all of that. Even the phone ringing is enough to put your brain in this fight or flight mode, and that's important to pay attention to. And what was I gonna say? Every time I get so excited, and then I say, "Hey," but it's, yeah. So anyway, in those cities, when we're in that living conditions, pay attention to that. As far as, sometimes you may need to move. If it just doesn't work for you, and you can't create a habit that is calm and fills you up first before you go out into the world and have to do the hustle and bustle and have to do the whole bunch of talking to a whole bunch of people who are asleep in their, and they have their own thoughts and their own chaos in their brain, because they haven't figured it out. And that's okay. That's what I'm saying. It's like, if that is your environment, that's okay. If it doesn't work for you, and you do have the option to move and find a beautiful place, that's usually what I suggest. I mean, I wouldn't say just pick up and move, but but I think it's important to care about where you live. I really do. I really think that's important, because if you can't enjoy the surrounding place you live in, where it can bring you good energy, you have good people around you, you create good habits, that's essentially what you're working towards, because this life is preparing you for your next life. So you want to live your life. You want to do the things that maybe inside you were like, oh, I always wanted to be um, an artist. I always wanted to paint. Then paint. That's how I feel. I'm like, then do it. Go to the store, buy your paintbrushes, buy your, easel, get it all. Do it up. Like, that's why I say live your life, because if you don't, you'll just leave this life and wished and regret, and those bad emotions will then hold on, and you'll say, oh, I have to do that life over, or pretty close to that scenario over, so that I can create things I've always wanted, right? Because that emotion gets hooked to this soul part of yourself. And I know it's a lot for some people, and maybe they might not understand exactly what I'm saying. And that's why I say, if you're at that point where it just intrigues you just listening to me, That's better than, because that somewhat plants the seed in your mind as, wow, all right, what is my storyline? Where did I come from? What is my desires? You know, and I think that's just important to know. It makes you a more well-rounded person when you start living your life and you start indulging in the things you love. I think people always say they want to, but they just don't, because they always push it on the back burner like, oh, it's my stuff, so I'm not going to give it very much energy. I have to do this, this, and this for other people. And that's going from outside. And I know lots of moms out there have this, and not even just moms, it's like lots of any parent that has to endure it, or any guardian that has to endure it. It's just, I don't know, it's just important to uh, raise your vibration, live your best, do your best, be your best. And it's like when you put all those factors in, you're dressed your best, you look your best. When all those are in factor, you then are your best. And I learned even too to write things down on paper with a pen, and that could be goals. So if you have some goals, like you want to have a smoothie every morning, don't be so hard on yourself if you miss a day, or but put it on your calendar and say, all right, I'm going to have a smoothie Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I mean, just like that, then you're creating a habit, then you're creating something really good in your life. It's nourishing your body, it's making you start your day out well. You're going to feel um, rejuvenated, instead of starting the day sluggish and tired and you have the whole day to deal with. By the end of the day, or even midday, you're looking for an energy booster, and that's not good either. It's like, we have this beautiful rhythmic, um, it's the law of rhythmic rhythm. I wish I had that in front of me. I had the definition. So there's 7 laws. I think I've talked about them before, and one is rhythm. And even when we're asleep, we have a rhythm of when we dream, and it's the same thing. So sometimes we are tired. All you have to do is rest. You just need a little rest in between. It's just like the whole, you get 15 minutes to rest. Really rest. Give yourself, it's your body. It's your body is you need a rest. Sometimes you just need to take 15 minutes to just sit if you're standing all day, or 15 minutes to walk if you sit all day. So pay attention to that, and really find the rhythm of your life. What fits you when you're tired, care about it. Don't just fill yourself up with a energy drink and keep going, because you're doing something to your body. You're messing with the nervous system. You're always in this fight or flight mode. You never get out of it. You just don't, especially when you energize yourself with negative things. Um, and oh, oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, yay. Text message. Anyway, um, so living in the new earth is beautiful, is peaceful, is loving, is compassionate. It's exciting. It's thrillful. You're always finding good things. You're always enjoying good things for you, and you literally don't need to fill your whole life with, I got to do this, that. You don't. I mean, you can, and to a point, but not the whole every second that you breathe either. It's a whole, like, stop and smell the roses. That was in my session. I loved it. So I had a session the other day, and I loved it because I had a little bit of a block, but I realized as I'm shifting, I wasn't shifting the way I needed to. And it's okay. That's the best part, is now I'm aware of it. I'm aligning myself. I'm releasing energy that maybe was stagnant in my body, that was causing problems and pain and issues. And now it's like, I got in my yard and I don't have any roses yet, but and our leaves are just blooming. It's hilarious. When you're in the high mountains, it's a delay. Like we're about a month after everyone else. So, which is fine. Or maybe not a whole month, like a half a month style. Um, so we're just getting leaves and stuff, and it's just exciting to watch, your trees. And I don't know. I love the earth. I love Mother Nature. She's incredible and it's beautiful, and the mountains are incredible, and the birds. um, it's neat. I really, really enjoy living where I live. And that's all I'm saying as what you should be doing is really enjoying where you live, creating new habits. And when you do that and the habits are good and there's no more hateful talk in your mind and it's all good things like, yep, you look great today. Like by looking at yourself in the mirror, no matter what, without all of the foo-foo stuff, it's like, really love on yourself, do some affirmations. You don't have to go crazy, but just a little bit to build you up. It's like a nice little balance, and you exercise a little bit and you have your nutrients every day instead of filling yourself up with fast food and artificial foods, meaning fake food like fast food. Don't fill yourself up with fast food. If you can prevent yourself and become aware and say, okay, I have fast food 3 days a week. I'm going to cut it down to 2 days, and then I'm going to cut it down to one. But you have to do it like that because there's this addiction, because the food is chemically made. There's addictive additives in there. And so it makes you like, it's just like any addict. If you don't have it, then you indulge in it even more and then you go crazy. Like you eat it so much and you just can't stop. It's like a tornado. So it's just really important to become aware of that and don't fill yourself up with sodas and sports drinks and energy drinks. Don't do that. Like become aware of that too as well and say, okay, I drink 2 or 3 of these a day. Let's knock it down to one a day and just be easy on yourself. Do it like that, and fill yourself up with things that would energize you naturally. Go for a walk, go for a run, anything that intrigues you for exercise, go for a bike ride. When you do that, you'll get natural energy and that'll make you feel so good. So, and I just don't think we get out there enough. I think we put too much on us and then we just don't get out there. And then when we do want to get out there, we're tired or we're whatever. Oh, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. So then it becomes a negative thing. And so when you're transitioning to that different state of mind, to be easy on yourself as you do. Don't just say cold turkey, I'm doing it all like this really hard. Don't do that because you'll just do it a couple days and then you'll be done and you'll say, oh, it didn't work for me. Didn't work for me. I can't do that. Right. So you have to come up with a nice balance that, you add a couple things in, you take a couple things out, and you're easy on yourself and you slowly start to um, be easy on yourself. And at the end of the day, if you need a session because you can't do these things or find a starting point, that's okay. Like, that's why there's light workers. You can do Reiki or get a Reiki session. You can get a quantum healing session, acupuncture. There's lots of self healing, um, holistic healing options. It's more than QHHT, but QHHT for me is the most powerful of all of these. It goes directly through the body. Like you activate this beautiful part of ourselves. We're so cool, actually, if you really think about how cool it is that you can lay down, that you can be aware, but as the practitioner asks you questions, all of a sudden, all these really cool things are coming out. And you're like, whoa, to me, that's so cool. And that's so magnificent. Like, whoa, we are so cool. And I love it. And that's all I ever want to do too. I was like, oh, I want to do more sessions because that's all I ever want to do is to help those people out there that are living this asleep rat race. And you're not living your best life. You're it's almost like a suffering, really, because when you wake up, you're like, wait a minute. This is so cool. And you're living your best life. And that's the new earth. And you don't ever have to go back to the old earth. You don't have to go backwards. That's the best part is you move forward and you stay forward and you move into this beautiful state of mind. And when you see someone going through it, you're able to be compassionate to them and, hey, I've been there. And reassuring and caring. And that's what honestly people really, really need. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
I just learned about Podbean 2 days ago, and I've started broadcasting live for free. And I would like people to join my podcast because currently I have no viewers.
Okay.
Um,
Why did you come to my
it's
page?
about what'd you say?
And why did you come to my page? I was just curious.
Because I love meeting new people, and I
Oh,
love getting on all kinds of streams and learning about what people are talking about.
oh, that's incredible. And where are you from?
USA and Orangeburg, SC.
Oh, that's incredible. Wow. It's probably beautiful there right now, huh?
Yes, and I broadcast on mobile. So, you know what? I broadcast 24/7 except when I'm not on air because of a technical difficulty. You know
Okay.
what? I need people to join and if because I don't know much about podcasting.
Okay. Yeah, no, podcast seems to be a very simple way of connecting and, just kind of find a subject that you really love to talk about. Like for me, I love talking about my practice, and I do quantum healing hypnosis technique. And so I'll pick kind of a subject based off of that, and then I just kind of talk, right from your
Hmm.
heart. Yep.
Yeah. So, and how many years you been on?
So I just started. I want to say I started in October. And so, not very long at all. I didn't really have any expectations as far as who would follow me.
When you first started, did you have much viewers?
No, certainly not. Certainly not. No. And I
Me
honestly,
either.
I just didn't know if anyone would honestly want to listen to me. And
Me
then I
either.
just kept going.
I don't know if anybody wants to listen to me.
Well, I'll listen to you. Yeah. Well,
And you know
what would
what?
you put out? Go ahead.
I asked people to join my stream, but for some reason they can't get to my stream or something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong.
Oh, well, sometimes when you're a brand new person doing it, you're not at the very top of the list.
But
So,
I can find when I looked up my name, I saw
yeah.
that I was broadcasting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And what
So
subject would you be talking about?
I would talk about mostly I would talk about Christian stuff and I would also talk about the probably abortions and how things are
Okay.
going on in this world and people are not being treated equally.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, you really care about that stuff. Now, do you have background on any of it, or are you just talking from your heart?
My heart.
Yeah, like you're just saying these things as that's what affects you. And so you want to get that out there.
Hmm.
Okay. So, yeah. So, my best suggestion would just be every morning that you can, um, start your day out. with positive affirmations. So that just means telling yourself that you've got this, that whoever needs to hear your voice will hear your voice. And pick a subject. Pick something that you want to talk about. Like today, I'm talking about um, energy. It's called the new earth versus the old earth. So that's
I got a
old way of
question.
thinking and new way
When
of
you talk
thinking.
about when you talk about that subject, do you only talk about it or do you talk about different things?
So I have that as a base, and then I kind of tend to talk about different scenarios that may affect
Okay, okay.
you.
I get what people are starting to do.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do
I
that.
think podcasting is coming a new way of broadcasting.
I agree. I think it's the new wave. I think it is a big deal because, it's the power of the regular people right now, and we have
Yeah,
to pay
and
attention to that.
I
Go
think
ahead.
people are broadcasting 24/7 on
Yeah.
Podbean like me.
Yeah. That might be a lot on your shoulders doing it 24/7. Are you literally doing it
And
24/7?
yeah, but I don't talk. I
Oh,
have shows and stuff on.
okay. Okay, that's good then. I was thinking that would be a lot for a person to always try to have something to say. I don't do a
No,
podcast.
I'm not gonna have always talk. I'm gonna have programs and songs.
Oh, that's super great.
So what do you have what kind of a monthly plan do you have on Podbean? Unlimited?
I do the probably the middle one, I think. I'm
I
not
do
sure.
the
Go
basic.
The basic. Okay, yeah, I think I did just the middle one and
I do the basic one where I can it's free and I can broadcast anytime I want. But what I do is I delete when my 5 hours are up so I can broadcast again.
yeah. It I love coming on here. I am a practitioner for quantum healing hypnosis technique, and it helps you essentially live your best life. You can find the patterns that might be happening in your life, and that's what I offer. So that's usually
Okay.
where I
So
go. Yeah.
yeah, and I've been getting on different streams today and just telling people that I tell my stream if you don't see a, a one of my old live episodes up there, that means I'm going live any minute.
Oh, you sound like a really lovely person.
I am.
I
I
believe it.
always talk to people.
I love that. I think that's incredible.
Yeah. What's wrong?
All right. Well,
See, you still there?
yeah.
So
Great. Well, okay. I think I might wrap it up. I've been on here for an hour. I usually do about an hour's worth, and then I like to talk from my heart and just put out some good advice for people because we all have different ways and we all have different lives and
so I gotta talk. I got a question. So when I'm gonna
okay.
start doing this on my podcast, on my broadcast,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna have my phone lines open for a certain amount of time when I'm talking, and then when those phone lines, when that time hits, I'm gonna cut the phone lines off, and then I'm gonna talk about stuff
Great.
by myself.
I
I'm not
think
gonna
that's
talk all the time.
yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, as long as you always talk from your heart, I think you'll get followers. I think people tend to love anything coming from the heart. There's just too much chaos to not go to the heart.
Hmm.
So, I think that's great. I think you'll do great. Just be free about it. Don't hold a lot of expectations, and just let it naturally come out.
Yeah, but I don't know much about podcasting really. So,
Yeah, it's a little tricky, but I think once you keep doing it every day, it'll come easy.
oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like owning any radio station.
Yeah, you could do that. Uh-huh. There's lots of really neat things out there to reach people. Yep. Yep. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on here. It was so nice to meet you.
Okie dokie. And
Yeah.
y'all listen to my podcast. It's at Christian 24/7 Live.
Appreciate it. All right. That's wonderful. I would love to follow you. Thank you very much. Yeah. I'm sure I'll be back on here again. I love doing podcasts.
And
So,
I got a question. Do you think I
okay.
should have a website or a Facebook page?
Um, if you could have a website, that'd be awesome. Facebook is
Do
easy.
you?
Yeah, I have a website. Yep. And it's I can put it on my little screen here. It's Jennifer Martinez QHHT.
Did you have to pay for the website?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
I think I'm going to do Facebook.
Yeah, because Facebook's free and you can just link it right up. It links right up to this. So you can save it and publish it and it can go to your Facebook and just start
Yeah.
adding friends and adding different people and yeah, maneuvering your way
And
through.
and what I'm gonna start doing is having a program schedule.
That's wonderful. And just start creating good habits. You always want everything you do, it should be good. You know, if it's
Okay. Yeah.
not, then you don't do it. Yeah, you're so
Yeah.
welcome. Oh, good luck.
Yeah.
If you ever want, you can come back on my podcast. You're super sweet, and I appreciate what you're doing in the world. That's incredible. Yep, perfect. You're an amazing person. Oh, all right. Well, you take care, and thanks for coming on my page, and thanks for you know being a light worker. Really, we need more light workers. So if that is what attracts you and intrigues you, do it. That's exactly what I was talking about. So you might have to listen to the whole session. And I hope you have a really wonderful day and be kind to yourself. And then that way, then in return, you're kind to your neighbor. Take care.